Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher. Why do I make these videos and why did I start? And what does it bring me? Why do I continue? And how does it affect my work and my process? My first YouTube video was on how to do needle turn applique left-handed. And that really was the beginning. And when I went to YouTube to find out how, because I'm visual, so a YouTube video is much easier for me than reading in a book, there was no one. There was literally no one teaching left-handed people how to do these kinds of things. And it was so frustrating. Then I went to my husband and I talked to him because he owned an ad agency and does branding and all kinds of stuff. So we did a whole brainstorming session. And he said, Ariane, you're a cheerleader. We need to incorporate that into your videos as well. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Okay, yeah. But it kind of stuck in my head. I love cheering people on. So it began as this pretty little idea, and it then expanded. And after I had extinguished all the different embroidery stitches and done a video for all of those, I started to just want to cheer people on, to have a place where I could really talk about the things that were passionate to me artistically and also encourage people to follow their own muse. And at that point, I started to I was teaching quite a lot online, doing a lot of Zoom classes, and I started doing a class called Find Your Voice. That was huge because I was at that point still having a lot of fear, but feeling like I was breaking through some of it, but the fear was still very much there. I really wanted to figure out my own style. I wanted to figure out how to start creating things that were mine, that were very much an expression of me, not sort of derivative of somebody else. And so I did that workshop, and that workshop was powerful to teach because I really saw how we are so frightened to own ourselves and to be ourselves. But then what occurred was I was feeling pretty burnout, and I was feeling there was sort of a crisis occurring in my life. And so I pulled back from everything. I didn't do any videos. A year and a half went by, and then I got a spark. I started making videos again, and all the things that I had treasured about creating came flooding back. But in addition, and this was always true, the people who watch my videos and comment have always been just hugely impactful. And now I can say that my favorite part about making videos, the comments from all of you. And what I get back from all of you is so much more than I could possibly give. When I started working on that first vessel, I'd never done a vessel before, and I hated working with the chicken wire, but I kept doing it anyway. And I had this moment where I realized I had been coming in every morning and working devoid of fear, and it was absolutely exhilarating. And I knew I needed to talk about that because I have talked about fear so much, and how it stops you in your tracks, and that voice that's just nagging and awful and says horrible things. And so I started to talk a little bit about that. And a couple people said they weren't, really interested. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to put it at the end of my video. I'm going to just do a little message about self-care, self-love. But what started to happen was people were watching the end of the video. So that was amazing to me. And now I have a channel transformed into I want to cheer other people on. And in return, I'm getting all these people who show up and consistently cheer me on. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this, because all of you have absolutely impacted me, my life, and my work.